What's good, YouTube? It's the AlgoBox gamer back in the markets on this trader funding journey. Take a quick look at this risk disclosure and let's get into it. So here you can see the certificate of funding for the AlgoBox gamer, and here we are in my second day with my performance account for Apex Trader funding. Now I actually had a first day where I was about 500 something dollars, but there was an issue with the screen recording, so I actually wasn't able to catch that day, unfortunately. But here on our second day, you can see for this first trade here, I was kind of caught off guard because this happened so fast, and normally I don't usually like to take signals in accumulation zones, but when price moves very fast into an area, you can often expect a rebound effect where it comes down just as fast as well. Now I didn't add with this trade when the second enigma came in because I already know I was going against the MACV, so I didn't really want to be greedy with this trade. But right away, looking at it in retrospect, I really should have moved my target up to the halfway point in the middle of the range, and I closed early because there was that long enigma on the lower charts. So this was tricky because when I rewind the tape, I actually saw that there was a 2 to 3 second data lag at the same time that the enigma signal showed up. So even though I pressed the sell market button as soon as that signal showed up, it was doomed from the start because of the data lag, and I was actually confused in the moment that it happened. So I just defaulted to moving my stop back and still targeting the bottom of the accumulation zone. But really the appropriate response would have just been to just scrap that trade because the ATM stop didn't land in the appropriate location. And here, everything was great with this one. You know, it's a long enigma. The wave is green. The tide is moving up. And there is a PRZ target on the wave as well. So that enigma that came right after was a great opportunity to retry that initial entry.
Fib dot Nasdaq on the MACV.
I closed because that red dot popped up on the MACV. So I do know that in pretty much every case when trading with AlgoBox, you want to avoid having more than one re-entry. But I realized that with this trade, I had double enigmas, and literally everything on every other chart was supporting a move to the long side, except for this red dot that just so happened to pop up on the MACV. So as soon as I see that it's turning into a piercer, then I see this as one of those windows of opportunity where bending the rules makes sense.
Target filled.
So for this entry, after seeing the green dot pop up on the MACV, I took the long enigma signal that showed up on the lower chart instead of the one that's to the top of the screen. In retrospect, I think it was a mistake to add the extra chart to the screen recording setup because I think it actually might have confused me more than helped improve my trades. And yeah, you'll see when I saw how this position was working against that long, I just added so I could do that graceful exit thing, that advanced stop where you add and then you just try to exit as the price pops up for a very small loss. And here, so I was thinking, okay, well, the MACD looks like it's about to turn red, and the price could possibly return back to that accumulation zone below. And there was a divergence triangle on the MACD. So I started thinking, okay, maybe I had the wrong bias, or at the very least, I could get a small target 1 off of this trade. And that's where you see I was thinking small targets when I moved my stops up to the gold line target, or 2 gold line targets actually, for this short. And then I started thinking, okay, well, it seems like it's going my way when I see another Enigma come in. But I still had to be cautious of a long signal as that came in right there. So unfortunately, I had to close that down. Well, not really unfortunately, because you're just paying attention to what the system tells you. You know, the funny thing is that if I had actually waited for that long signal on the top chart instead of the bottom one, that actually would have worked out well for me, because I was looking for a long signal in the first place. But then I started to doubt myself. But yeah, this entry here, I took the long Enigma signal on the lower chart. And then by this time, I was trading with fear, because I was already down close to 1,000. So by this time, I was trading the wrong way, and I wasn't really either letting the price hit my stop or hit my targets, and I was closing too early. So after this trade ended, I ended up down about $1,500, which really left me with only a $500 buffer between my account balance and the trailing drawdown, considering I had already made 500 something the day before. And so at that point, I wasn't really feeling too confident, and I did try to come back later in the day to maybe make something work with the lucky sevens, but $500 wasn't enough wiggle room for the size that I was trading. And here's the end result. So until next time, take care.